Hello, everybody. I am pleased to be joined by, once again, it was around this time last year that Mike Cerveni come in, and we chatted all about him and, learned all about him, whatnot. And we're going to do the same here today. We're going to chat all about him, but we're going to learn what he's done in the past year. We're going to learn about his new single, which is very, very relatable for a lot of people. I feel like, Mike, you make a lot of songs that are relatable for a lot of people. So first of all, welcome into the studio once again. Great to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Oh man, it's I can't believe it's been 1 year since you've been here.
Yeah, a year passed. I loved the interview last year, and you guys are just amazing with supporting local artists, and yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. We really appreciate having the local artists on, and it's nice to have a returning guest like you. So yeah, what's been going on in the last year? You've been really active on social media.
Yeah, just, working on music, and, this one that I just released a few weeks ago called Disappeared. It's been incredible experience, just even the recording process of that. Actually, I've been sitting on this for a couple years now, this one. When we finalize it at the studio, but now it's ready to be released. The past year, though, just, did another big production of a music video for my last single, and that's what we're doing for this one, too.
Yeah, you were telling me that there's going to be like a backstory to Disappeared, but this goes back like 2 years ago. You had the idea for this song?
Yeah, so it's a little older song, and I've been ghosted in the past before, and, many people have, right? It shouldn't be common, right? But it's a common thing that happens. And it's not good, right? So it's very relatable. I've heard many stories from other people too. And it's one of those songs that I just want people, when they listen to it, to give hope and inspire in a positive way. And also to give clarity that, those people that do ghost you, they're just not meant to be in your lives.
I should start a weekly thing like the ghosted stories or whatever, and this be the theme song. People call in and tell their story, right, of being ghosted, and then we end it with Disappeared. I feel like we should do something like that at the station. No, I love it. It's it's always got a great message. You're a great guy, and you always try and find light at the end of the tunnel. There's been different experiences that you've had to go through. Unfortunately, one of the songs, with your mother and everything, yeah. You're a guy that you always do try and find the positive. Do you think that's what's really kept your music career going, getting you bigger and bigger, because you write these songs that people can really relate to and give them hope?
You're right. That's, I don't really sit down and that's not what I'm thinking when I'm doing it, right? When I'm writing, it's just the emotions that come out, right? But I do think that way, and that's a good, good realization. I always want to try to put out a positive message, especially in my music. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the filming process. You're in the process of doing like the music video storyline behind it.
Yeah. So the difference with this one, I've done in the past 2-3 years, Shooting Star, Been Through So Much, Forever Yours, all those singles, big productions of the music videos.
Been Through So Much, a very big production.
Yeah, and it was done here too.
Yeah.
Most of it in Amherstburg, and it was an amazing experience. And I also run my own film company, so I wanted to utilize my gear, my cameras, and self-produce it. Yeah, we have some here filming this right now too. But I wanted to self-produce it, and I needed some help to film it, but we used all the gear that I had, all the lighting, and we shot it. At first I wanted to do a performance video shoot for the song and just put that out there, which is great. And that's all done. Still have to edit that. But then I decided, what? Let's wait a little bit, because I wanted to go further than that and put a storyline into this about ghosting.
Mm-hmm. And you've done some shooting in Harrow at like an old barn, believe so?
Yeah, so like in Harrow, shout out to them. It's called the Old Mill in Harrow.
The Old Mill.
And great space. They have events for weddings and other events there. And how that happened, though, really is the cover, like the artwork for the cover of the song for Disappeared was done first. And then I'm like, where can I shoot this video and what resembles whatever the artwork is, which is pretty simple. It's like a table, it's empty, there's a window, and it's just supposed to represent like nobody there anymore, right?
Yeah.
And so the old mill, since it has that rustic old, a lot of wooden area inside, it made sense. So I loved how that turned out. You guys will see that soon. I do want to put out the performance video as a separate thing. But I think I want to wait until the official music video with the story is out too, and then kind of split that off into 2 videos. But so everything kind of made sense with the artwork and the location of that setting to do the video.
Yeah, and doing some filming in Toronto too for that.
Yeah, so for the storyline, thought of something that could be that I thought that I could pull off, and is very relatable with being ghosted and going in that direction.
Well, that's another thing too with you. Your music videos, they're telling a story. Do you come up with this on your own? You're almost like a playwright in a sense.
So for all the other videos, no, I don't. I'm trying to think back. I definitely no, because I always try to get input from like whoever's filming. Whoever I choose to film and their production team and stuff like that. The directors, I've worked with Ken Amelin. He's amazing, talented guy here in Windsor. He did the Been Through So Much music video here in Amherstburg with me. And then Shooting Star was a different film crew as well. So I'm in the process of always having input, like what they think, what I think, and kind of work together on that. It's hard for me, like when I make music, it's hard for me I know what the song's about. It's easy to get literal and be like, okay, this is what the video should be, instead of something creative. And you'd see it all the time, right? A music video that isn't anything to what you think the song's about, right?
Yeah.
Like even the famous ones. And so that's not my strongest thing to think of. So I kind of rely on other people to do that. With this one, with ghosting, it is pretty literal, right? It's the song is about getting ghosted, so it's easy for me I want to do something simple in that way and go in that direction of those types of scenes, right?
Yeah. We'll talk about something that's done, obviously Disappeared. It's out there on Apple Music, I'm assuming, Spotify, wherever music is available,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
How was that process, recording that? How long did that take you? Did you use any new gear on this song? Any studio musicians you want to give a shout out to, or did you do everything yourself?
So shout out to Marty, who owns SLR Studios. He does the production of all the songs that I do there. So he does the drums specifically, and maybe add some lead guitars and stuff like that. I'll do rhythm, some basic leads on there as well, and acoustic and vocals. But the process with that is, and I have tons of behind the scenes of that. I still plan to put together. It's a lot of footage. Like when I'm there, it's when we grab the footage, like we're filming right now, but the studio sessions are hours, right? So it could be 2-3 days worth, like good solid 6 to 8 hours each. The process though is, we go in there, try to get a tempo of the song and get a good feel of how fast it should be, how slow, stuff like that, and get the production kind of like a scratch track, right? And that's what we call it in the studio. Sing it, play the guitar, get the structure of the song down. And the structure's already down, but for him, when you record it, get the structure on the computer, right? In Pro Tools, in the editing program. And then next session, is working on the acoustics, going in the room and just tracking the acoustic guitar. And this song, I wasn't even using a pick. I was just like plucking it with my fingers, right? For the verses and everything like that, for those parts. Great sounding. We were using Taylor acoustics on there all the time. Taylor. I have my own Taylor, but we tend to use his own. It's just a different model, but they all sound great. And then from there, we'll add electric guitars. I'll do that myself as well. Double that, triple that. Try to make it beefy sounding, and then next session would be vocals. So probably 3-4 hours of a vocal session in the booth, and get the right takes. Take after take, get the right performance and the emotion. And and then like a lot of listeners may not know how that will sound at that point in time when you record a song. But once everything's polished up, meaning like adding all the effects, all the production to it, it's hard to. It depends on the song too. There could be cello, piano, all that stuff, all the production where it sounds crisp and very polished up. That's all him. So like I can go in and record the acoustic and singing, And then a few weeks later, it's like, wow, this sounds big, like bigger than you thought it would. And that's the whole reason why you go to a studio, especially for me going to him. You get, it. How do I explain this? It's like you have a song, you have a melody, you have the words, and it comes to life over there.
Yeah, and that's what I was actually going to ask you. Like the vocal arrangement for this song, did you kind of have it planned in your head, what it was going to be? And then did Marty like that, or did Marty change it a bit?
So typically, I'm trying to think, but I would say every time I go in there, nothing has changed. Like the structure is my own, the verses, like how everything's laid out from start to finish of the song is how I made it. Same with the lyrics. I think we kind of enhanced a little bit, switched. There's a very high note after the bridge. I'm just thinking like right before or after the bridge, somewhere there. And so sometimes we'll think of stuff while we're doing the session, and that was one of them, I think. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, why don't we give Disappear to listen? All you listening audience members out there, make sure you always check out Mike Cerveni, whatever he's got dropping. You can follow him on Instagram, Mike Cerveni Music. He's very, very active on there. You see different parts of videos, whatnot. His videos are literally like little short films. They're amazing, and obviously the music is great too. So without further ado, here is Disappeared, Mike Cerveni on the bill. Wow. What a song. Seriously, I was just telling Mike here off air, like I remember from the last time that he was here, he said, the 2000s were a big influence on him, music from that time. And I just said to him, I felt like if I would have turned on a radio 2002, 2003, I would have heard a song just like that, or that song on the radio. And I love that. You're bringing it back. I got that guitar was heavy, and I got 3 Days Grace. That's what it reminded me of there, the guitar. I know obviously not the singing, whatnot.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. The breakdown there, when you slowed the beat down, we were talking off air there. That was Marty's idea. I like that too. I like when songs do that. You don't hear it very often, but I do like that a lot.
Yeah,
change the arrangement.
Slows. Yeah, at the end too. Yeah, it slows down, and at the last chorus changes a little bit with the beat and everything like that with the drums. But yeah, it's definitely that vibe, right? That the early 2000s, and it's definitely something that stuck with me.
Yeah, no, hey, we all go to what we love, right? Like that was obviously a big time in your life, very impactful. The music back then, and I love it. A lot of your songs are like that, and I do love that.
Yeah, perfect, man. I'm glad you like it.
So. Disappeared. Obviously, I would want to, tell everybody once again, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, check it out. Obviously, wherever there is music, give Mike a follow while you're at it on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram as well, Mike Cerveni Music. Mike, what is the future looking like for you, man? Like can you give any details of what you're working on, or are you working on anything?
I think I can tell you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm in the studio right now as well. So like we put this out, still working on the music video for this.
Yeah.
And, working through the concept of, because I filmed it, my girlfriend and I filmed it in Toronto and some here. And by the way, a lot of it was her idea, kind of going back and forth, trying to figure out, because you were asking, do I come up with all these things? And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
So whether it's another director or someone else, but I definitely heard she had a lot of input in this, and it's just super thankful for that, because it's very creative, right? And it's very relatable. So currently working on that still, and putting that all together so everyone can see this and share it and spread that message. And then also, like I said, being in the studio already, working on a new single, and it's a ballad. It's very acoustic piano driven, And then near the end of the song, it's very big. That's how I can describe it.
Yeah,
So
there's a buildup.
yeah, it's always a buildup, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I learned with Marty. Good songwriting. Not necessarily that I don't change the structure of the songs when I go there, but the way he produces it, it's always that buildup. And that's what I think makes it special for every song that I go into working with him, or anybody that works with him.
I wanted to ask you this because you're a family man, obviously not with Disappeared, but are there songs out there that you already have that are very inspired from your family, or are you looking at your family now and getting inspiration for songs for the future that you're going to write about them?
Yeah, you know what? There's always something, right? I try to find inspiration in everything, whether it doesn't happen to me or happens to me, or people that I know. I do have a song out there for my son, by the way, where when he was very young, he's 7 now, Liam, and he did a little, like, in the intro, it's called Everything's For You. A few years old now. It's out there still on all the platforms. And he has a little like giggle in the intro and stuff in the song. It was Marty's idea, which I absolutely love. So yeah, just finding inspiration in everything, everyday life, whether if it's about me or not. But that's the thing though, right? So like you're asking that question. Sometimes I don't even. I'll just kind of play the guitar, with no intention of writing a song, right? Mm-hmm. And then a melody comes to me just for like I can have like 5 different ones just for fun. Not you're not necessarily sitting down and I'm going to write something, but they come, right? And I've heard a lot of interviews with famous artists, songwriters, singers, whoever. That's exactly kind of the same explanation I hear from many. Whoever writes songs, big or indie artists, it happens that way. It's just you never know what will come out when you're playing the guitar or whatever instrument, and that's for me as well. And I just try to find inspiration from everything. Yeah,
and I mean, you never even know where you're going to find inspiration. You could be having a coffee in a coffee shop and look outside and see whatever unfolding, and there's a song idea, just for an example, just wherever.
Yeah, 100%. I think we talked about it before, but years ago, when I'm thinking 2013 maybe, I released a song called "What Would You Do," and I don't know if it's out still like on TV anymore. I hope it is, because it's a great show. It's a reality show where you see like actors, but the public, they don't know they're actors, and so certain scenarios happen. Could be like someone on the street in a fight, or kids causing some trouble, or like a relationship issue, and the people witnessing it, they think like it's real, right? Mm-hmm. And so what would you do scenarios? And so that's the title of the TV show. So I was watching, and I somehow, I don't know why, but I got inspired and all the words came to me, the melody, the song, and I didn't mean to write a song about what I was watching on TV, but it happened. So yeah, there's always instances like that, right? So
I love it. Yeah. I think I do remember that the last time you were here. I think you
we touched
brought
on
that
it,
up.
yeah.
I think so. Have to go back and watch the other video now.
Awesome.
Final question for you. Got any upcoming shows, Mike? I know we're dying here to see you, even wherever it's at.
Listen, I'd love to. I really want to. I want to prepare for something like that, and definitely I'll keep you posted, and you can follow along on my social media too.
Yes, everybody, please follow Mike Cerveni Music. I know I said it a lot on Instagram. Are you on Facebook as well?
I am, yeah. Mike Cerveni Music on Facebook there, if you search that. And on Instagram and TikTok and
TikTok. Hey,
yeah,
everybody.
Trying to do TikTok.
I love it. Yeah, little snippets, smart idea. I love it. Mike, this has been great. Great song, by the way, as well. Thank you so much for coming back, man. It's always a pleasure and great to see you again.
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
Mike Cerveni, everybody.
Cool. I love our interviews.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Just all on the fly.
Yeah.